Streets gonna always be fucked. Yeah.
Let's go out to Hollywood.
Okay, now put a Mac on the map if you won't get on. Now put a spitter on the map if you won't get on. Now put a po on the map if you won't get on. Say put a feet on the map if you won't get on. Say put EI on the map if you won't get on. Can't put that Drew on the map if you won't get on. Say put a Mark on the map if you won't get on. I'm a good looking rapper, I ain't trying to stunt.
What up, though? What's cracking, Scorpio? I hope that all of my beautiful and my handsome Scorpios out there are doing well. So let's get into this reading, y'all, and see what it is that you need to know. But first, we're going to start off with my I Am deck and see what messages Spirit has for you guys. Okay, so let me get these out. It was like kind of like these 4 cards just kind of jumped out of my hand. So let's go on and take them and see what it is that you need to know. So we have I am powerful. So I feel like for some of you, you're starting to finally recognize your power. You're starting to recognize the Spirit is trying to put you in this position of authority. You know, you're becoming in power. So it's like in the past, maybe you were not aware of your strength. Maybe you were not aware of your courage. You weren't aware of how powerful you are. But I feel like certain things are starting to take place in your life, and you're starting to realize, okay, like shit, I might be that nigga, I might be that bitch. All right. Now we have independent. I feel like your power is coming from you being independent here. You know, you not being in a codependent energy, but learning that shit, the only person that you can depend on is me, myself, and I, okay? So I feel like you're in this energy of, what's that song? Nobody needs nobody. All I need is me and my dogs, nigga. So fuck all of y'all. This is the energy that you're in right now because you've been through the storm. You've been through a lot of things, but it was like when you looked around, shit, it wasn't nobody but you. You and the Holy Spirit standing by your side. So I feel like something that you've been through, things that you've been through, like they could have been some very harsh lessons that you learned about people. Maybe you realized people that had your back, they didn't really fuck with you the way that you thought they did, but something here has taught you to be very powerful. Something here has taught you or gave you some type of independence. Now we have faithful. I feel like you're a very faithful, humble servant. You know what I'm saying? You're a servant of the Lord. Like anything the universe asks you, you may question that shit. You be like, man, you want me to do what? But it's like, because I feel like you being in this energy and always doing what you're being told, being obedient, you know, this is why good things are coming into your life. Some of you are learning how to be a boss, or you're stepping into this boss energy, which means you're taking a leap of faith. Some of you are going to take the paper route. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take the route of becoming an entrepreneur. You know, there can be a side hustle that's going to turn into a full-time job or whatever it is, but you're just stepping into this boss energy, and you finally realizing, baby, that you are this boss. Like, this is what gives you that power. You see what I'm saying? All right, so let's get into it. So we have brief affair. So I feel like there was someone that you connected with, you guys, and the shit didn't last that long, okay? There could have been lots of fights. There could have been arguments between you and this person, but I feel like this was the way it was meant to be. Like, it was never destined for you and this person to have like a long lasting relationship. Like the period of time for some of you, I heard months. You connected with a person for a few months, and then it was kind of like things were cut off very abruptly here. For some of you, it could have been on and off for a few years, but it was like a brief affair. Like this affair, though, or this situation, I feel like this is what helps you gain this stability. You know, having to walk away from this person. That's what I'm feeling like. Like something was shown to you that made you, or that guided you to walk away from a particular person here. You see how these people, like, they arguing or going back and forth? It was kind of like, because this man looked like he wanted to be in control. It's kind of like this push and pull dynamic. Like both of you guys were fighting. It was like a power struggle between you and them. Like you wanted to be in control, they wanted to be in control, but nobody here wants to compromise. And because of that, it always led to some type of brief affair. All right, now we have this late bloomer. So there could have been an age gap between you and this person. Maybe that was the cause for this brief affair. You know, you could have been older than them. They could have been younger than you, or vice versa. Y'all take it how it was. Or it was like this person's mentality. Because, like, we got this power struggle, right? So they could have been very immature. Maybe they weren't used to having to compromise. They were like, you know, they could have been full of pride and ego and feel like everything had to go their way. It was something about their attitude that caused you and this person to end this affair. But I feel like this is a late bloomer. So it's like it's gonna take this person a little while longer than you to become mature. You see, like you, even though you may have had some immature ways, it's like you're able to reflect on your actions and you were able to grow from this particular experience. This particular person, baby, they out of sync. And it's going to take them a little bit longer to catch up with you. So for some of you, this can be like someone you're on a journey with, right? And it's like from this one experience that you had with this person, it taught you a lot of lessons, but not so much on their end. Like they're still needing more time to learn. They're still needing more time to grow. But the problem is they can be very empty. So hold on. So I feel like that things between you and this person was very complicated, or the reason why this situation between you and them didn't last was because they had a complicated situation going on, okay? There could have been a very, I don't want to say difficult situation, but there was just a complicated situation that they had going on. And it was like they weren't happy with this particular energy or person that they were dealing with. So this could have been like that Knight of Wands, like this person, King of Wands, Page of Wands, that was kind of in and out of your life. And the reason why this person was in and out of your life was because they had another situation over here that they had not completely 100% closed the cycle out on. But it was like the reason why they had 100% walked away from this person was because something was very complicated. Like it just wasn't going to be easy for them to walk away. Now, this could have been a show off. Okay, I heard that song by Migos. Cause a nigga handsome and wealthy. Okay, this could have been someone who was handsome and wealthy. They was draped up and dripped out because you look at this man. He got on chain. All right, so they could have had money, or they like to be a show off. They kind of like, if they had fancy jewelry or they hid behind these fancy jewelry and cars and clothes and shit like that. But really, this is someone who is very insecure with themselves. So it's like this person hid behind material things. Thank you, Spirit. This person hid behind material things. They hid behind the fancy jewels and the rings and the bracelets and necklaces and chains and shoes and clothes and cars and all that type of shit. But it was really, this person was in his lack energy. They lacked something within their life, okay? For a lot of you guys, they were very insecure with themselves. They always felt the need to prove themselves to other people. So they felt like because they had these material things or they hid behind these material things, like maybe they wanted to show people they were worth more. Like I really picking up this lack energy from this person. It was like, I'm trying to get out what I'm trying to say, y'all. Hold on, give me a second. This person hid behind material things because they were in this energy of lack. They were insecure with themselves. So it's like they like to prove themselves to other people. They like to prove some type of point by wearing these fancy clothes and shit. Like it made the outside world, or they felt it made the outside world view them very differently because people that's insecure, they're not gonna wear a t-shirt that say, hey, I'm insecure with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna hide behind material things that make them feel good about themselves. But I feel like you guys were able to see through this facade. You were able to see what this person was trying to hide, and you saw that all this, like, that really wasn't who they were. You see what I'm saying? This person was really someone who was empty inside. They were in this lack ass energy. The truth is, this person just wasn't fulfilled. Remember, I said they could have been involved in a situation that was very complicated. It was hard for this person to walk away from particular third parties when I'm picking up, or someone in their life. But the thing is, they weren't fulfilled. They never were happy. This is like a broken home or a marriage, And versus them taking their time to try to find the right one or allowing the universe to put the right person on their path, they felt they had to show off. They felt they had something to prove. You see what I'm saying? Like, you were someone, I feel like the lesson that you learned, because remember, you've learned lessons behind this situation, this experience. And the lesson that you learned was it's worth the wait. Like you're learning, like you could have been someone that felt like you can pick the right man or woman, but it was like after dealing with several wrong men, several wrong women in your life, you was like, maybe I'm not the best at choosing the right mate. So you had to learn that it is worth the wait to find true happiness. It is worth the wait to find someone who's going to be able to give you reciprocity. But see, this person feels empty because they feel the need to hide behind material things. you know what I'm saying, the fancy cars and clothes and shit like that, they felt they had to rush. They felt that they, for some of you, they attracted the wrong people because they were in this energy. You know, they attracted people who fell in love with this facade, but it was like they never brought nothing to the table. See, baby, you was the table. You see what I'm saying? And this person, they attracted the wrong type of people because of their mentality, because they were living behind this facade here. And right now, this person feels empty. For some of you, they feel empty because the person that they're dealing with, they just don't fulfill them. You see what I'm saying? This marriage, this commitment, this relationship, whatever it is this person was dealing with, they're just not fulfilled. They're just not happy. But I feel like you did, though. But because they were too immature, they weren't, you know what I'm saying, in this energy to see your worth back then. It was like they didn't recognize who you were to them. Let's pull just a couple of messages here. Messages for my Scorpio. Tell me about this show off, or tell us more about this situation. I love you, Scorpio, and if anything is resonating for you guys, don't forget to walk away. Look at this. For some of y'all, they're being called to walk away. Look at this. There's a complicated situation here. It's not, what did I say? It's not easy for this person to walk away, but they're being told it's time to release what no longer serves you because they're emotionally unfulfilled. They're not happy with this particular third party in their life. I can't make this shit up. They feel empty inside because they're not fulfilled. This person doesn't fulfill them the way that you did. But for some of y'all, it's just not easy to walk away. So I'm hearing they could be married to them, you know, or there's something here. Maybe they have kids with this person. You know, it's something here that's keeping them in this energy or keeping them with them. You can be dealing with a Pisces here. Don't have to be. All right, tell us more. Why is this person, why can't they walk away? Even though they're emotionally unfulfilled, why can't they walk away? Why do they find it hard to walk away? All right, something about the fall could have been significant. I think I seen that in the last reading I did. Something could have happened during this fall. For some of y'all, maybe they did walk away from this particular person. All right, if it's not this fall, next fall, but something's going to happen within the next few months. And this person is making long-term plans, okay? This could have been someone like because they were immature when they chose this person or connected with them in the beginning, they could have just been looking at the short term. You see what I'm saying? They could have been looking at this person was a show off of what they can bring to the table, but now they're realizing that it's worth the wait to find true happiness. All right, something about the fall, y'all. I couldn't make this up. So something could have happened this fall. For some of y'all, they may have walked away from this person this past fall, but you don't know nothing about it. All right, give us one more. Messages for my Scorpios. 7 of Wands. Yeah, they're making a stand here. They're not backing down to this particular person. So I'm really picking up the energy they had to protect themselves. They're protecting their heart. They're protecting themselves from this person now. So in the past, they could have been all in, you know, but now they feel the need to stand their ground. And they're setting healthy boundaries now with this person. Okay. So they're learning how to stick up for themselves. They're not allowing this person to walk all over them. For some of you, this could be you. You know, like they always was working hard trying to make this relationship, trying to make this marriage work. And now they're like, man, fuck that. You know, I can't continuously fight for a relationship, fight for a marriage, fight for a connection when this person won't meet me halfway, when I'm the only one here who's fighting, you know? So like I said, this past fall could have been significant. We got Leo energy. Look, we got worth fighting for. For some of you, they're realizing that your love, you're the one who's worth fighting for, not this damn third party that they was dealing with in the past here. All right, so let's roll. Let's see who this reading is about for my Scorpio. So if this didn't happen this fall, for some of you, something's going to take place in the next few months, or something can take place next fall here. We got heavy Taurus, Aquarius, Gemini, Scorpio, Virgo, Sag. Who is this about for Scorpio? Scorpio, Gemini, Sag, Cancer. Damn, Scorpio, Aries, Capricorn, and Taurus. All right, you guys, I love you. And until next time, stay blessed.